Hi students, I am just going to go through your neoplasm assignment. So I'm going to start here with case number 1. We have a 65-year-old male patient. So let's go ahead and get everything put into the encoder. Make sure you have the years and the date correct. So we have January. Hi students, I am going to go through your neoplasm assignment. So let's go ahead and the biggest thing here is I'm going to go through the encoder. This way you can see the route that I take. So here we have a 65-year-old male, which have everything plugged in correctly. Admit and discharge date. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and hit continue. And patient disposition, we always go home for this one. And here I'm going to bypass the admit diagnosis, go right to the principal diagnosis. Now you can go ahead and put the admit diagnosis in. The biggest thing is to make sure that your principal diagnosis is where it should be. So if I put the principal diagnosis in at the admit, hit continue, make sure you put it in again. Okay, so we know that C34.12 is our oat cell carcinoma of the lung. Students did not really have an issue with that. That was all good. And then add diagnosis, we have J43.9. All right, so then we want to go ahead and put in our procedures. First procedure is going to be O or 0, B9, G8, ZX. Okay, that is our drainage. Add the next procedure in, which is 0, B9, 88, ZX. All right, so as you can see here, the MSDRG is 182. Let's go down here. Per the encoder, what is the relative weight? We look right up here for the relative weight, 0.8875. Now keep in mind, if you are off, it could be just because you didn't put the right age, or maybe your dates, or it's going to be more of the year. And also, again, your principal diagnosis needs to be in the correct position. So that is case number 1. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do case number 2. Okay, so with case number 1 or number 2, we have a 71-year-old female. Once again, 1/7/23 to 1/15/23. Make sure everything is logged in. I'm going to hit continue. Patient went home. Once again, I am going to bypass the admit diagnosis. So with that, my principal diagnosis is C56.2. Additional diagnosis, true or false. C78.6 is an additional code assigned per documentation in the case. This is true. So I'm going to go ahead and add C78.6. All right. So then we go in here and I have quite a few procedure codes to add. So let's go ahead and look at all the procedure codes. We have the resection of bilateral ovaries, open approach, the resection of the omentum, uterus, and cervix, and then also resection of the bilateral fallopian tubes, open approach. And then the last one is excision of the vagina, open approach. All right, so let's go ahead down here. My MSDRG, when I go up, is 737. And the relative weight right up here is 2.0235. Okay, case number 3. So with case number 3, I have everything age 55. Again, my year needs to be 2023 through 1/12/2023. They went home. Go ahead and put home. And then I'm bypassing the admit diagnosis. Like I said, you can go ahead and put the admit diagnosis just to make sure that you put the principal diagnosis where it belongs. CA 3.53, which is my lymphoblastic lymphoma, intra-abdominal lymph nodes. Then I'm going to go right to the resection of the spleen. Okay, so with that, let me go ahead and put that in quick. 07 TP 0ZZ. Okay, and that's open approach, resection of the spleen. Then I'm going to add procedure, the biopsy. All right, so here once again we have A22. My weight is 1.205. One thing I do want to mention, I had a few students up here go ahead and code. They went ahead and coded also the R16.1. You don't do that just because the splenomegaly should not be reported separately because it is a symptom of the definite disease. It's determined and documented in the provided case information. So you only need the lymphoma code. All right. So if anybody has any questions, go ahead and send, let me know, contact me. But overall, this was a great assignment. Keep moving forward.